And right, there you go. Number 9, and it's 11. Okay, so what we're trying to do is so how to actually probe a model with a classifier. We also need to know the benchmark score of oh yeah, score of a model such as GPT-2, Llama 2, Mistral, Quen, etc. Using these specific questions from the part of the salad bench that we're interested in. How to make a classifier and probe the models that we benchmarked for the questions that we benchmarked it on. So the specific benchmark I'm talking about in this is salad bench. So let's see. And the part which we're trying to score right now is specifically, so we have gotten the questions within the they have the broad category of human autonomy and integrity harms. And within that, they have the subcategory of persuasion and manipulation. There are some questions for those. And so they have like a score for just like human autonomy and integrity harms, right? But that's just like for like these very like large and broad categories, which includes stuff like copyright infringement, plagiarism, and like and that's in the same categories like self-harm and psychological manipulation. These seem to me to be like not very similar. So I'd like to like isolate the score and see, okay, so we've extracted these questions from this data set. Right, so we have these questions here, and what I'd like to do Okay. What I'd like to do is run this specific part of a benchmark, right? Um, so these specific questions uh, on the smallest model that's been tested on. So specifically, it's been tested on Quen 1.5b or something. Um, so it was like not Quen. It was like uh, no, not 4b. So we have the Gemma 2b, but there was an even smaller model than that. It was like a 1.8 or something. Uh, where? Oh yeah. So there's the Quen 0.5b. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, yeah. So this one here. Sorry. Yeah. So like first, so benchmarking you first, right? Um, and then like it seems that in a few other papers, a few other studies, they've done some kind of like probing to find like an internal circuit or some kind of feature and stuff in the model, right? And I would like us to be able to do that um, with like these kind of questions and stuff. Um, and say for I'm not sure. That's one of the things we need to find out. So we have like these papers here, these like likely relevant papers, um, which we need to look into and find out how they've done that. So that's one of the things that we need to find. Um, so do you want to try to find that out just now? Like give these papers here. I mean, just like split it up and look through them and see what methods they're using. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So which one we work on? Okay. Sure. Like I know which one you mean. That you. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. It is apparently out of date, but like, yeah. Which part do you mean? Let me just go to. Oh, okay. Sure. Ah, okay. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Sweet. See what happens to very rarely. Okay. Do you think there's a way to apply this to the question we're trying to do right now? It's like just so the overall like obviously like overall question we're trying to understand is how much of the safety benchmark of a model, right, is actually accurate to the internals of the model, right? Like when we're doing the safety benchmark on a model, when we're claiming like okay the model is this much um, safe at this thing or whatever, right? How actually accurate is that to what's inside the model? Um, So we have this safety benchmark, right? It's okay, yeah. And this is obviously like one example of safety benchmark. There's lots of others, and these safety benchmarks are being used to claim that this model is this and this much safe, right? And that is okay to release and so on. Therefore, right? Um, or that oh we've done this in the safety work. Um, so what I'd like to see is like okay, how much of this is actually true and faithful to the internals of the model, right? Does that make sense? Like, or not really? Okay. Um, what do you think of that question? Like what? How do you think something like worth exploring, or like, does it make sense as something to explore, or like, um, hmm, hmm. Um, so first, yeah. So first is just like finding if there's any like features and stuff or something inside the model, which is making it. So we actually tried that before. So we were trying it actually before with Truthful QA. Um, but it took so we trained like some essays and stuff on Truthful QA. So we trained like first like one essay from the truthful questions and stuff, to like truthful question answers, and the another one from the untruthful question answers, right? And for the truthful QA, we found like it had basically like no difference between the activations of the essays. Um, mhm. Okay, what do you mean by like the diverse data set? Like, all right. Sorry, like this is all like super abstract for me. Like, can you like say like what exactly it is that like what precise like what exact data we need to give? Like diverse, like what does it need to include? Like what exactly like what data does it need to include? Hmm. Okay. So what data needs to be there for the SAE? Like what do we need? Like the Creative Commons data set? Do we need to uh like train on like Yeah. So yeah. Also, so like what I was, so what I was saying was, so I told a couple of researchers about it, and they said that the best thing for this would actually be to probe a model directly. Um, Let me double check. I think it was. Um, okay. Yeah. 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 Oh. Okay. Yeah. So then yeah. So like probably like an essay is not the right approach for this because we don't have like the data for that. Um. Right. But it won't be an SE trained for like Queen or something, right? And one second. So okay. Sorry, I'm just like super. Can you like would you mind like writing some of this down? Because I'm like super confused about like what this actually means. It's like all like super abstract. Um. Yeah. Like in the Google Doc or something. Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay. One second. Ah. Okay. See. 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 Just okay. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, just updating screen. Right. So what's this? Okay, your screen's just loading. What's going on? Um, I can tell you, you have access to the Google Doc, right? You can just type in there if you. Okay. Okay, cool. Right. So let's see. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Sorry. Sorry. So wait, what does that actually mean? So like, when you, what? Can you repeat that, please? What does that actually mean? Mm-hmm. Right. What are we actually doing? What are we actually doing? Like these abstractions are not making it like sense. Like what's the actual thing? Like what's the actual code that we're doing? What's the actual data that we're putting using for the code? I guess I know it's trying to like replicate the input and stuff, and then because it has like less parameters or something than the data set. The idea is that it learns to like condense it by like having to reproduce the data set and having less parameters. It learns to condense it in some form, or just learn the essentials. Yeah, yeah, replicates like the data set, right? Like, hmm, hmm, yeah, right, yeah, hmm. Wait, sorry, wait, sorry, just like I felt like we skipped a step. So, all right, no, no, what's that? Mm-hmm. Right. Sure. Okay, sorry. What's the goal of this? Like, what's you- you- okay? What is this? Like, what's the point of this? Like, what's so preparing a model? Like what are you trying to get a model to do with this? Okay, what are we trying to prep the data? Like, in what way are we trying to prep the data? Like, I don't understand. Like, like, are you trying to split it up in some way? Like, what are you trying to do with this? Okay, okay, cool. Okay, and so what's the thing that so what part of this data set we're trying to represent in numbers? So we're trying to represent like the fact that it's an apple, the fact that it's a mango, that kind of thing. Okay, right. Okay, cool. Right, that makes cool. So we're trying to translate like from um like natural language to like binary or something. Okay, sure. Okay, cool. Okay. Mhm. Okay, sure. So you turn like so you make like so one way is like turning just like some like number of ones and zeros and having saying okay if this set of ones and zeros represents this word. Okay, cool. Sure. Okay, cool. Right. So wait, sorry. What do you mean by it'll be a very sparse representation? Sure. Okay. Wait. So in this type of like encoding, in this like translation, you would never have like 101. So why wouldn't you have something like like you could say like if you go back to like the apple orange and thing and stuff, right? Um, so you could reduce the amount of columns that you need or something by saying like 10 represents apple, 01 represents mango, and 11 represents orange. Right. So what I mean is like why so if the problem is that like so is the problem that you have like a really long sequence which has lots of zeros, and if you have like a really long so wait so if you have a really long sequence with lots of zeros, then why not just reduce the number of zeros by having some like different orders of ones, like you can say like so suppose you had like yeah, right. I'm I guess I'm still like not convinced of like how much of a like it seems to me like if we have like a bunch of like if we can just say like we do like one 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 or like 10 or 01 and stuff, then we still have like a lot of options. Like how much does it need to be reduced? Like so I'm okay, so what is the actual like problem is it? 'Cause I'm not, yeah. So let's suppose you had like 1,000 things you want to represent, right? Um, okay. So how do you say 1,000 in binary? Uh, yeah. So if you just say you have like the language of binary, right? So like 1,000 in binary is what 111. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 digits. Is that a lot? Like, why is that too much? I guess maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm confused about like what do you mean by sparse there? Hmm. Okay, so why is that a problem? Okay, I why? So also like what is like you keep using the word sparse. What does sparse exact like actually mean there? Sure. Okay. I guess, but like when we have, how are you like measuring this though? Like, because if we have like so the number 1,000 is represented with like one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, sure. Yeah, 10 digits. Yeah, I mean it's like infinite, right? Because it's a that's it. Uh, I feel like we're going in circles, like because I still don't understand what you mean by sparse representation. Like, right? Okay. I get the idea. I get the idea of like sparse being like, okay, there's a lot of zeros in the matrix, right? I get that idea. That's not a problem. But what I hmm yeah, yeah, I get that. I'm just not getting like why it's a problem to yeah, yeah. Okay. Why is that a problem? And I feel like there's some like steps in here which is just like skipping. Um so and one second, let me just draw this out. So okay, okay. So we have a lot of data. We want so so we want the model to have an accurate internal representation of the data of the data, right? Is another thing? Is this or something else? Which I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about. Like, okay, okay, cool. Okay, so like this stuff which you've been saying now, does this apply to sparse autoencoders or to autoencoders? Okay, okay, wait, so let's break that down. So trying to convert a sparse representation into a dense representation. Yeah, sure, sure. You send me can you send me your email and I'll just add you to like the document. Cheers. Cool. Okay. Okay. Right. And so sparse means something like less zeros. Oh, okay. Uh, okay. So more zeros. Okay. So like a more percentage of zeros. Percentage of zeros. Long representation meaning okay. Uh, longer in length. What does that mean? Can you just like show an example of like in here like give an example of a sparse long representation and then that being converted into a dense shorter representation? Uh, like 1 second. So like first give an example of a. I'll just see if it. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So is this accurate what it's saying here? So is this accurate what it's saying here? Do you see my screen? Okay. Okay. Good. So, but okay. Representation for the categorical feature. Okay. 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 Sure. That's okay. All right. Uh, yeah. Okay. Sure. Sorry. So this one. Um. Okay. Sure. Sure. Um. So sparse. Yeah. Wait. What's the difference between dense and sparse? What does dense mean? Okay. So so lower percentage of zeros. Okay. Um. Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I feel like I feel like I'm probably like lacking some ML fundamental reason for why this is better. Like, why is it better to have something with less zeros? Okay. Uh, yeah, I'm not. I don't know, like. I'm not really. I want like the actual reason. And so why precisely it's having a representation, um, which has a lower per- percentage of zeros. Okay. How do right. So memory. So okay. So why exactly is a presentation which has less zeros better for non-OX? Uh, Is this correct? Like, is what it's saying here correct? Like, okay, so what's gradient flow? So primary. Okay, right. Okay, so this is okay, so this is some kind of like fundamental of backpropagation. Okay. Um. Okay. So many ways to only. Hmm. Okay. Uh. So we're not doing the truthful untruthful anymore because we figured out that actually the truthful QA data set which we were using for that um which was made by open stuff turns out that's actually not a safety benchmark. It's actually a capability benchmark. Um. So that's why we're doing salad at the moment. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Right. Okay. So why was Week saying that this was like we should probe a model directly with classifier? Something he said. Why was just you saw about right? Like they were saying like it's just incorrect. Like um so they're saying like as you know, officers to say to train SAEs rather than probe specifically for its values. Um. Right. Okay. Sure. So I guess like we would take this and then pass it in and try. Okay, so how? So the thing you mentioned of like seeing like what features are whatever activate. How do we see which features are activating? Like, okay, how? What? Like, I know nothing about this. Like, can you what is the actual thing I do? Okay, cool. Okay, so oh, this is Arena. I despise Arena. Okay, let's see. Characters. Yeah, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. That's not there. One second. So okay, top packaging features. This one, visualizing executive dashboards. This. Jesus Christ, why? Do you have a copy? Like, oh, yeah. Would you mind sharing that copy, please? I don't know why. Why would they update and remove information? Like, uh, yeah. I mean, worst comes to worst, if you have a copy locally, then you can just make a new Google app, right? Uh, I'm not seeing it here either. Mm-hmm. Sorry. What is it thing we're trying to share? Like, okay. Can you just like share the link? Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. The one we just sent in DMs, or the one, or the which one? Okay. So sure. Yeah, yeah. So I've got that one open. I uploaded that one to Google Cloud. Um, this one, top activations. Uh, oh, was it? Okay. Hmm. Sure. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. So how's this? How what? How's it doing that? So where's this? No, like where in the code is that? Like where this one? Okay, this is it? Okay, this one. Okay. 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 So loading the forward. So it's loading the forward pass. What do you say? Like, so is it okay? Running the forward pass. That meaning like like when the inputs are turned into the outputs, right? So run the forward pass off GPT too small. What does that mean? Like, so if you run, mhm. Where, like does that mean like instead of the input getting passed into the model, the input get passed into the SAE? Like, what's actually happening? So, okay, yeah. What's the actual thing happening? Like, it's not just all like topsy turvy mumbo jumbo, right? There's an actual thing which is happening. Like, what's the actual thing which is happening? No. Okay. Can you just like tell me like do you know the actual thing which is happening? If you don't, that's fine. I can look it up trying to find out. But like if like mhm. Okay. Well, thanks for being patient with me in this. Can you just screenshot it? You can just screenshot it and share in the chat. Yeah, sure. So that's the model. Okay. Is that actually a seventh layer, or is that just like one they made up? Yes, in reality. Right. So what I mean by in here, what's happening in real? Okay. 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 So the actual thing that's happening is that so one second. One second. So okay. So what's actually happening? Um. So on the seventh layer, and is this like excluding the input layer? Does the seventh layer like include or exclude the input layer? Activation is meaning the number which is outputted by those weights and biases. Okay. 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 So the um, outputs, so the numbers which are outputted, yeah. So the numbers which are outputted by, yeah, yeah, I find like I personally hate all of these diagrams because I find they all kind of try to do some bullshit. Yeah, I personally hate the way they try to explain these things because they all try to go like way too abstract and shit. Rather than saying like the actual thing which is happening. Like these symbols and stuff mean nothing to me. Like if I don't understand it, then it's useless for me. Like does that make sense? Like right, but like there is an actual like these are but there is an actual thing happening, right? This is not it's not what's actually happening isn't a bunch of symbols and pictures. What's actually happening is like numbers getting calculated, right? Sure, but those I hate that representation. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just not gonna use that. I just like I'm just gonna represent like in plain language. Sure, like I yeah I want to know what's happening and like if I can like so like that's why I want to like actually represent it in like actual language. So the actual thing which is happening is that there are one second. Okay, so we're gone off topic. One second. So the actual thing which is happening here in this SAE, right? So the numbers which are outputted by the neurons, so by the weights and biases. Okay, is it in what way is it too generic? Is it at the moment? So that's what I'm writing now. So it's not a finished sentence yet. Okay, by the neurons in the seventh layer. Is that okay? Okay. So the numbers which are not so not numbers which are outputted by the neurons in the seventh layer, but the numbers which are inputted. Okay. Okay. Cool. Which are inputted into the neurons. Okay. Sure. Called activations. Okay. But they are numbers, right? Sure. Are there some if are there any other numbers which are passed into the neurons, which they could be which they could be confused with? Are there any other numbers other than activations which are passed into the neurons in the seventh layer? But so from my understanding, um, my understanding was that um, we had like these things. Actually, one sec. So we had like these weights and biases, uh, and then we had like another one, right? Okay, wait. So the weights and biases are different from the actual neurons. So what are the actual like? What's the actual neurons like? I'm not asking what's what is it? Is it a number? Like is it like uh okay. And what is that? Is that a number? Okay, sure. Okay. This is why I hate ML. Um okay, so what's the actual I just want like what is the actual thing? Right? So my understanding was like we had these weights and biases which would be updated over time in the training, right? And these were all numbers, right? Um so in between these we have some other numbers. Okay, what are those and what happens to those? So you said in between these you had some neurons, like in between like in between the thing connecting these. Right. Okay. Okay. So like so okay. Okay. Right. But like what okay, what actually is that? Like I get what it's representing. Like I'm fine the representation is sure whatever. Like if I was willing to accept the representation then there wouldn't be a problem. But I'm not willing to accept just a blank representation. Right? What Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I get what that is. Like, what's the actual literal thing going on? Like, this is okay. Like, what's actually going on in the machine is like some kind of like a number in some way, right? What's the actual numbers? Like, what's I don't care if it doesn't make. I just want to see it. I just want to know what it is. Like, okay, so one second. So that's just telling me what a weight is, and like, okay, one second. I'm okay. This is very frustrating. Okay. Um, I'm just gonna okay. I'll go and do like actual like backprop by hand and try to figure out what's actually happening there. For now, I'll accept like some abstract bullshit, which is what this looks, I guess. Um, okay. Sorry. Let me. Okay. Um, okay. Right. Okay. So, sorry, we've gone off track quite a bit. Um, okay. So we have this extra thing here. So you're saying that one way that we can train on this is we can use an existing sparse autoencoder, um, and like the one which you linked in here, right? Or maybe something else. And so, how would we use an existing sparse autoencoder, for example, to find um, where the model is activating when we're running, say, this benchmark on it? Is that what we do, or would we do something else? Sure. Okay, so like keep in mind, I know nothing about it. Like this is not like sort of or basically like what is he like? Please treat me like a complete fool in this. Like, what do I actually do? Like, do we do this and then and swap out this model with the model Quen or something? Okay, actually, so we don't even need to. So, okay, so there's an existing spot autoencoder for GPT small, right? Okay, cool. So we can just run the benchmark on GPT small. Okay, cool. I'll do that. There's code available for that, and they have detailed instructions on how to do that. Um, okay, and then we say that okay. Um, so this is an existing parcel encoder for a GPT small, right? And then what do we do then? Okay, okay, hmm, yeah, sure. Yeah. Sure. Okay. 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 Hmm. Okay. Um. Right. So that would. And how would we do something like probing directly? Do you know how we would like start to like probe for our feature directly kind of thing? I don't know. Because I just know this is what they were saying here. Like they said, like probing of a classifier or something. Um, just like whatever they meant here. Um, so it says probing specifically for those values. I don't know. I'll see. Let's see. Sorry, wait. What does that mean? Okay. So how do we? Okay, how do we actually do that? Uh, as in like, does these? So from the benchmark, we have a score on like here's how persuasive or deceptive, etc. the model is. I want to find out, is that accurate? Is that accurate to the inside of the model? Sure, I get like yeah, I know we can just like run the bench. I'm not talking about like how does it. I'm saying like on the internal of the model, right? Um, does it actually um believe the thing that's output? Like, does it actually, for example, right? Sure. Yeah. 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 Hmm. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I guess we need to try and figure out. Okay, so first of all, is there some feature? Is there an activation? Um, and is there a feature specifically for this, or is there uh, a feature? Um, does this feature right? Maybe okay. Is there a feature just for that? And is it maybe you can test in different languages as well, and see okay, does the same feature activate when we test in different languages? Because if it activates for different languages, then maybe it's for that concept itself, and not just those words in like the English language. Um, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Seriously. Yeah. 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 Thanks so much, Ryan. Thanks for being so patient with me as well. Um, yeah. Thanks so much. I'll definitely ask you some questions and stuff as well. I'll try to like learn more about background because that seems important for this. Uh, see. Thanks so much, Ryan. I'll see you later. Bye. Let's see.